All right. All right, my brothers and sisters. Um, I pray everybody is in good health and the Creator is working with you, showing you different things, illuminating you, right? Um, with that being the case, we can go ahead and get started. It'll be Q&A. Anything you want to talk about, questions and answers. Um, and then, of course, we're going to go into the simulation. Are we in a simulation? The beast. What is the beast? If there's a beast, right? And the 12 tribe chart, what they're not telling you, right? So Q&A, anything anybody want to come in and discuss or talk about, that's fine. Other than that, everything is good. Everything is kosher. Everything is copacetic. All right. So I'm Ezekiel Ben Israel. Um, just coming to you, brothers, my brothers and sisters, having a small dialogue today, and we'll probably do another one tomorrow. And we'll discuss some things. I think some topics people need to pay attention to, and some stuff that's really going on. Okay. So with that being said, anybody come in? Shalom, Delta Roots. You doing all right, brother? Y'all bless. Y'all bless. All right. Anybody want to come on? Hop on? Oh, I'm sorry. That's my fault. I didn't capitalize. Yah. Always capitalize the master's name. So my apologies, Yah. He's definitely worthy of all honor and glory. And even though there's no capitalization in the Hebrew text or Hebrew language, there is in English. And since I'm writing it in the 4 consonants in English, I give him that proper respect. So let me change that. All right. Here we go. So shalom, brother. Delta Roots, can you hear me? Am I coming through clear? Just want to make sure I'm coming through clear. Mm-hmm. All right, I got you, Delta Roots. Any questions you come back, just let me know. All right. Okay. Anybody want to jump on, ask questions? You're free to at any time. All right. All right. So I just want to make sure anybody can hear me? Can anybody hear me? All right. Okay. Can everybody hear me out there? If you can hear me, let me know in the chat while I set up my other account, my other phone. Yeah, let me just put on this phone here. Mm-hmm. All right, let's see. All right. All right. Okay. So just real quick, like I said, first thing is Q&A. But like I said, we'll be discussing the simulation today, right? We'll be discussing the simulation and everything that's going on in the world and how it affects everything and everyone. So we'll definitely hit that. Okay. Let's see.
Hi, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, you can be heard.
Can I introduce myself?
Yeah, just don't come on with that Islam stuff.
Aloha, Rabbi Lewis here. Published author of 50 books. Background in personal investment in Arabic studies. I'm not going to be on long tonight. I just had a couple questions for the man of the hour.
Okay. Um, Go ahead. I'm listening.
Yeah, before I segue to the question, can I make a quick statement?
You sure can.
Certainly. Thank you, guys. So, can you hear me?
Yep, I can. I can hear you. Go ahead.
All right, certainly. Hello.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's about heaven and hell. If I could talk about that real quick, just like 20 seconds.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, thanks. Yeah, of course, hell is real, guys. So, accept Jesus, your Lord and Savior, before it's too late. Anyway, hello.
Uh-huh.
So it's the common. I just did my new video lesson today. Just go on YouTube. Can you hear me?
I'm listening.
And type in Rabbi Lewis. I have two channels. My backup channel. I just dropped my new video on heaven and hell in Islam. Right, you with me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Certainly. So it's a common misconception amongst Bakris and Kafirs that you go. Sorry, can you hear me now? Somebody text me.
Yes, I hear you. I hear you.
Okay, certainly. So it's a common misconception in El Islam that when you die, you go to heaven or hell. That's not true. That's not in the Quran. Right? Right? You ready?
I'm saying, but yeah. So what does that have to do with what we're talking about? What does that have to do with?
Yeah, certainly. So actually, after death, the soul goes to Barzakh. Barzakh in Arabic means the world of the souls. So your
Okay.
soul after death goes to Barzakh, not heaven or hell. Right? Now in Barzakh, there is a heaven and hell there. Can you hear me?
Uh-huh.
So when you die, you don't go to hell or heaven. You go to Barzakh, the world of the souls. So, but in Barzakh, there's a place of heaven and a place of hell, but it's not to the extent of Jannah or Jahannam, right? So your soul goes to the Barzakh till the day of resurrection, when you're put back in your body, and then you go to Jannah or Jahannam. So technically, you do go to heaven and hell, but it's Barzakh. The heaven in Barzakh is not like the heaven of Jannah. It's like turned down trillions of ways, and then the hellfire in Barzakh is like trillions of ways better than Jahannam, right? That's not
Uh-huh.
the. But I had go ahead, go ahead.
Let me ask you a couple of questions about that, right?
Yeah, certainly.
Um, Two questions. The first two questions in regards to Barzak, right? Does that make sense to you?
I'm sorry. In terms of what? You just kind of paint a picture with a broad brush.
What you just discussed, what you said.
I said a couple things. I said that in Barzakh, hello?
And I just mentioned Barzak. I said, does that make
Certainly,
sense?
yeah. Not to be redundant. Like you go, there is a heaven and hell in Barzakh, but it's not like Jannah, paradise. It's like Jannah's like Barzakh turned up a trillion ways, so to speak. And the hellfire in Barzakh is like Jahannam turned down trillions of ways. So this, yeah, go ahead.
No, I'm saying, but how does that make sense to you? How do you know that's real? Not believe. I'm just saying, how do you know that's real?
How do I know what's real? Define real. Define that. I mean, you can feel the wind, but you can't see it. There's things you can't see with the naked eye. Like if I could say one thing,
Yeah, but you have more than one sense. Feeling is just one
certainly.
sense.
Well, if I could just say one thing, if I could not decide step the topic, right?
Okay.
My background's in parasite. I'm a student, of Dr. Hutler Clark, who created something called a zapper, which kills parasites.
Okay.
Now, I'm subscribed to this channel on, Instagram, social media, right? You with me?
Yep.
Dude, they took a Dorito chip. You got them Doritos. They probably got them in Shreveport, where they got the Cool Ranch and stuff.
Okay.
So he put the Cool Ranch chip under the microscope. Dude, he blew it up like 300 ways. Like under the like on a petri dish.
Uh-huh.
Dude, there was so many worms and maggots in it. It was unbelievable. It was the size of a Skittle. He just took a piece of it, right? You with me?
Shalom, Denoy, on Lenoy, Yehuda, Day Yuda. Shalom, brother. Shalom. Yeah, go ahead, Louis.
Certainly. So he's a scientist, right, Zach? So
Mm-hmm.
he cuts the Dorito in half, put it on a petri dish. He blew it up like 500 ways. 1 second, dude. Zach, you with me?
Yep.
Dude, there was so many parasites and maggots in the chip, it
Uh-huh.
would blow your mind what you're eating. And that little petri dish, that little chip, right? Right, Zach?
Yep.
Dude, there was probably I can count 50,000 maggots in it and like 1,000 worms. It was so small. It was just like a piece of a chip. Imagine you eat the whole bag. You have no idea what's going on around it. This really don't sense. Anyway, I'll let you go. Good night.
Now, what did all of that have to do with worms and stuff have to do with what we were just discussing?
Because there's things you can't see with the naked eye that's going on around you. You can't see those maggots and worms with the naked eye. He blew it up like 600, 700 times under the microscope on the peach on the dish, not petri dish, the we call it the sample thing was made out of
Microscope.
glass.
With the
You
microscope.
go, huh?
With the microscope.
Yeah, certainly. It's like the chip was on the glass under the micro. He blew it out 500 times. Dude, it had like 100,000 maggots in it, and it was so small it'll blow your mind. A bag of Doritos, you probably eat like millions of maggots. It's unbelievable what's going on around you. You don't see. I,
So, um, let me ask you this question, just to help you understand. When I said real, real is denoted by the five senses, not one sense, which one sense, which is just to see, but the five senses, five, right? So you got five senses, but for some reason, um, peace Delta Rules, glad you're back. Um, but for some reason, you just went with that. Why? Why did you ignore all the other senses? Because obviously, if people are describing something, they have to have seen it, right?
is that rhetorical? Could I answer that?
Yes, the answer. I want you to answer.
Yeah, hold on. Because I just loaded my laptop. Because it might make some noise. 1 second. Because I'm in the chat room on my laptop, so I can read comments. Okay, can you hear me?
Uh huh.
Let me mute this real quick. What's going? I don't know. But anyway, at any rate, hello. Sorry.
Yep.
So what was okay? Yeah, in Arabic we call that the gaib. Now, what does gaib mean in Arabic, guys? Back to basics. The unseen realm, realms you can't see with the naked eye, right? That's called the gaib. Go ahead.
Mm-hmm. So how would the person know it's real? I'm not even talking about just seeing. I'm just saying, like, how is somebody going to describe something that they can't see?
Well, in the occult, they call that the pineal gland. The pineal gland allows you to see things that are metaphysical that you can't see with the naked eye through the pineal gland. When
And
your
that's
pineal
that's
gland activates, you can see
that's
things
science.
that's not
That's
transparent.
scientific. Is that scientific?
Um, it's a scientific.
Yeah. What you just said, is that scientific?
Well,
It's not. It's not.
okay, okay.
So again, I'm
Science
asking.
is hold on, let me respond to that. Science is constantly the drawing board. And Zach went to college, so he knows what I'm gonna say next, right? You know what I'm gonna say next, right, Zach? You already know what I'm gonna say, right?
Mm-mm, I
You
don't.
know, in college, and this is a hustle, side hustle as well, because I'm an advocate against college. But more the story is in terms of the drawing board, right? Right?
Oh,
Every year, and Zach can vouch because he works at the university, and my mentors went to college. Anyway, so every year
I
in
work at.
co-
I don't work
yeah,
with.
so you work yeah, cool. Well, like we said, every year they upgrade the textbooks. It's not the same textbook. After every 1 or 2 years, you go to college, you get a bachelor's degree. Every year the textbook change. It's the same course. They change the textbook. Is that true, Zach?
What does that have to do with what we're talking about?
So they constantly not reinventing the wheel. They constantly science is constantly updating itself.
Yeah,
You know,
but
it's not like a concrete thing, for lack of a better words. It's constantly evolving. You know, that makes sense.
what does that have to do with you being able to prove that your doctrine of hell is legit or not? You couldn't. Okay. You tried to use the pineal gland. You tried to use that argument. That argument failed. So the person describing it, I guess, in your Quran or your Hadith, I'm thinking leaning more towards your Hadith. The person that's describing in your Hadith They saw it. Because you can't describe something you haven't seen. Like, I'm not moving too fast, am I? Like, if
No,
you
no, no. By no means. By no means. By no means. I just made it not to be crystal clear, or I mean in an opening salvo, right? Right. I made a
okay,
statement, correct? I said when you die, it's a common misconception in Islam. You go to Jannah or Jahannam. You don't go to Jannah or death. You go to Barzakh.
but how does one know that? Like,
What do you mean,
how?
man? And yes, I answer that. So you go to Barzakh. Now
No, no, no,
Barzakh
no.
has.
Listen, listen. You're not answering my question. What you're doing is you're telling me what they teach in Islam. I'm
Okay.
asking. Okay, hold on for a second. Let me show what I'm
No,
talking
but
about.
you have Muslims that believe you go to heaven and hell. They don't know about Barzakh. They think you really go to heaven or hell at death. That's a common misconception.
It's not a misconception because you don't know where you go because you can't. I'm asking you to prove it and you can't. So instead of you proving it, you just keep telling me what this text you've read, because it's some information new you just came across because you've never talked about it prior. So it's something
Wait,
you've
say
done.
that again. I'm sorry that sounded funny. Say that again.
It's some new information that you've read.
Oh, new information. Okay.
Yes. Would that
I
be
like
right? Would that be right?
that. Absolutely.
Okay. So it's some new information that you read. You haven't been able to vet it because you hadn't been able to see anything you've read. So you're just believing it's real. You're just believing it because you choose to believe. You're a believer. And you know, the word belief is the meaning of the word belief is ignorance because you really don't know. When you believe something, it's because you don't know. Like you don't
Two
believe.
things to that. That's like I was first you saying I responded. My apologies.
Yeah, you don't believe your name. You know your name.
Sorry. Okay, well, two things to that. What was I gonna say the first thing? That's not a flex at all. In Islam, because the worst you could be in Islam is a kafir, which is means what, guys? A disbeliever. So to say we believe you believe is
No,
not
that's
a
what I'm
flex at
saying.
all.
Listen, what you're doing.
Oh, my bad. 1 second. Let me pause my laptop. Okay, go
This,
ahead. I'm sorry.
this is what you're doing.
That's not a flex at all. Like I'm not bothered by that, nor does that like shake me the wrong way. The worst
But
you
you,
could be
but,
in Al
but
Islam
you
is a
should,
disbeliever.
be. But you should be. That's the problem. You're not, but you should be. Because what you're saying to you, what you're coming on this panel saying to everybody is, you're coming on this panel and you're telling everybody what you believe. And belief is literally the definition of ignorance. That's what it is. You're telling people, you're literally coming on saying, hey, Sightlock, what's up, brother? I'm ignorant. Hey, Delta Roots, I'm ignorant. Hey, Lenore De Yuda, I'm ignorant. That's what you're coming on saying, because you're saying what you believe. You can't substantiate it. You can't.
I'm not ignorant. The Quran says, "Who's more eloquent in speech than the one who says he's a Muslim?" Muslims are far more educated than any Christian you ever meet.
That's a belief.
Why? I'll tell you why. I'll give you some citations, some
No, I know.
criteria.
No, I
Why?
don't want any citations. I don't.
All
This
right, go
what
ahead.
I don't want a citation. This is a belief. You can't in one breath say you're dealing with knowledge, but you're talking about something you can't prove.
You know who you sound like right now?
Like what?
Know who you sound like?
Who?
Sarah Suit Seti. You know, he said the same thing was on Sunday. We always want to see God, and where can we find? What are you
I didn't
obtuse?
say, everybody here listening, I didn't say nothing about God.
You got people who have personal relationship with God. How could he?
I didn't say
Oh,
I
where's
didn't say
God? He's not
nothing
here.
about
What do you
I
mean?
didn't say
What?
nothing about God. The word God has not, until just now, literally, the word God has not came out of my mouth one time.
Okay, let me ask you a question because this is why I came on, right?
Mm-hmm.
And unless you want to address the bar, because you asked me something about Barzak, so I'll let you segue to that. Then I had a question.
No, I'm just saying, you're telling me about what you believe and what Muslims believe.
No, I didn't say that. I said most Muslims don't even know about this. They believe you go to heaven or hell, but you don't. On the day of resurrection, your soul goes back into your body from Barzak. Then you're resurrected in
Watch,
your body
watch this
on
here.
Judgment Day.
Okay,
Huh?
I got you. I got you. Watch this here. I'm gonna show you how to shut this whole argument down. What is a soul?
A soul is an Arabic ruh, like it's something that animates your psychology.
Stop. I'm ask again. I didn't ask you to tell me what the word was in Arabic. I said, what is a soul? I give you example. If I ask you what is a watermelon, you're not gonna sit there and tell me what the root word of the word watermelon. No, H2O. You're not gonna say that. What is a watermelon? What is a soul? What is it? Because you can't find it. You can look it up online if you want. But when you're talking in the religious connotation you're using, your Quran doesn't address it.
Hold on. Stop. Elaborate on that. What does not the Quran address? I'm sorry.
What a soul is.
Oh, what a soul is.
Yeah, actually, what was a soul?
Udu billah. The Quran doesn't address that.
Correct. I mean, listen, you're literally you're at liberty right now. I'll put it up on the screen. Give me the surah that tells you what a soul is.
The Quran is crystal clear that the first thing that
no. Listen. I don't want to hear about no talking pins that your God made. I don't hear none of that. I just ask you, what is a soul? That's all I'm asking you. What is a soul? Don't sidetrack. Don't run from the argument. What is a soul?
See, I just answered that.
No, you didn't. Didn't answer it. You said it's something, but you wait. Hold on. With the answer you just gave me, where did you get that from? So you didn't get it from the
What's the answer? I'm sorry.
About the soul. I want to ask you one question.
Certainly. Okay. So where did I get it from?
You didn't get it from the Quran. The Quran doesn't say nothing about psychology. The word psychology is not in the Quran.
We have the hadith.
Okay, again, the hadith and the Quran are not the same thing. Keep up. So where did you, the word psychology is not in the hadith. So where did you get that definition you just gave me from? You didn't get it from the Quran. You made it up. That's why I'm asking
you. This is semantics.
It's not. Look, watch this here. If I ask someone in the chat right now, what is a soul? What they're going to do is they're going to look at the scriptures and try to tell me what a soul is. I'm asking you what a soul is. You don't know what a soul is, and your religious book doesn't tell us what a soul is. Now, if you're saying, now either I'm right or wrong, and if I'm wrong, you're welcome to give me the surah. I will put it on the screen. I don't want to hear about what he created, all this. No, just what is a soul? What is a soul? That's what I'm asking you. I don't want to hear what the imams think it is. You see what I'm saying? Because that's what they think. I'm asking you what objectively, I'm asking you absolute truth, not relative truth. What is a soul? And here's the problem. It ain't just a you problem. You got this problem. Most Israelites can't answer it, and most Christians can't either. So what is a soul?
Okay, that's just all smoke and mirrors. That's all irrelevant talking points he's trying to regurgitate.
No, the Bible. No, stop. Listen, I didn't give a talking point. I'm asking.
Yes, you did. You committed a fallacy.
I didn't. No, I didn't create a fallacy.
There's nothing you can think about in this world that the hadith does not.
Does everybody see what just happened? I had to mute him because I'm literally asking him, what is a soul? What is a soul? That's what I'm asking you. I'm asking you to give me.
Well, I got you. Hold on, you put the car for the horse. You made a statement. What did you just say? You just said, and correct me if I'm wrong. If I heard you wrong, right? You with me?
Yeah.
The Quran and Sunnah doesn't address the topic. And there's nothing you can think about in this world that the hadith does not address. Now, we don't have the same sentiment with the Bible. We don't have that same energy with the Torah.
No, listen what I'm saying.
Even the Bible doesn't say a lot of things. The Bible doesn't tell you how to do multiple things that the Quran expounds on. I give you a laundry list of examples.
Don't give me a laundry. Give me one example.
What was I gonna say?
I don't know. Give me an example.
Yeah, I have a few examples of mine. But
Stop. Listen. Right, listen. To keep the show in order, give me one example. I don't need a lot, just one. Give me one example that the Quran gives that talks about things that the Bible doesn't.
What age can you marry a woman? Showing that up on the Torah or the Tanakh, or where it tells the age when you can marry a woman. Now we have that in the Hadith and Sunnah. Show it to us.
But the Hadith is okay. Listen,
brother. Just source up, brother. Show us the verse where Yohei says when to marry a woman of marriageable. At what point in her not chastity, sorry, maturity you marry a woman. Show us that in the Bible.
When she's in a menstrual cycle. Hold on, let's stop. Listen before you go forward. That's what makes a woman.
So why are you splitting hairs about Aisha when, according to Sahih Bukhari, and this is her own words, although she was 9, she had a period. So why are you condemning old Muhammad sallallahu for that?
No, because
when
he
the
married
hadith says that she was
he married her when
of puberty, of puberty.
because she no stop listen. She married him. He married her when she was 6.
Yes, but he didn't have sex with her to her maturity. That's inside Bukhari.
Louis,
It's in the
Louis,
hadith.
Louis.
They didn't start having sex till she had a period.
Okay, listen closely. When you take away, let me show you on the screen. Hold on, let me show you. Let me show you something on the screen so I can find it real quick. Let me show you on the screen, okay?
Can you move the goalpost? Can we get the verse when you're supposed to marry a woman in the Torah?
No, I just told you what a woman was. You can't marry a child.
No. Show me what Yohei said. You have to marry a woman when she gets her menstrual cycle. Show
No,
us that
that's
in the
what,
Torah. I'm not saying I never saw that. Can you show it to me?
no. There is no child marriages in the Bible. That's the Quran. That's Islam.
Where can we find? I'll read it in the Bible where Yohei says, "Marry a woman on her after her menstrual." Can you show me the verse? I'll read it. Just I'll put it on the screen. And I'll read it because I never saw that. I'm not saying it's not there.
Okay. Check this out. Let me share this real quick.
I'm asking for the Torah, brother. Please show us in the Torah.
Show you in the Torah what?
Come on, don't play stupid now, bro. Stop
No,
playing with me.
it's not playing stupid. In the Torah, there is no example of marrying a child. So there's no law to marry a child.
That's not what I asked you for. The whole crowd knows what I asked you for.
Okay,
Show
listen.
me in the Torah where it says.
Let me just again, because listen, what he's trying to do is play semantics. There are no child marriages in Torah.
There's no child marriage. Okay, I'll give you that. Okay, that's off the table.
So what?
Hold
on, stop.
Oh my God!
Y'all all over the place. Listen, y'all over the place.
I'm over the place. I asked you in the Torah.
Okay, do me a favor. Show me a 6-year-old getting married in the Torah.
I'm not arguing. Hold on, stop, Zach.
So stop. That's what I'm saying. No, you
brother,
stop.
Brother, there's no child. You just said there's no child marriages.
I mute button. You're not gonna win this. Stop.
All right, go ahead. I'll let you speak, then I'll respond.
It ain't about you ain't let me do nothing. Listen what I'm saying to you. See, it's called inference. When something is not mentioned, it means it's not the norm.
Okay, so does it? Okay, I got you. So you spent an eloquent statement, guys. There's no child marriage in the Torah, correct?
Correct.
We're also at the table. Okay, fine. We're past that. Oh, vomit.
So now the question becomes, what makes a woman?
I understand. Okay, I got you. We'll segue to that when you put in the car for us. So the question is this, and it's a yes or no question to go forward, okay? You with me?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Is there any verse in Torah where Yod-Heh-Wav explicitly says you to marry a woman once her menstrual cycle comes?
No, that's what a woman.
No. Oh, it's not there. Okay,
no,
he's done. He's done. It's not there.
You're not listening. What makes a female a woman is the menstrual cycle. You can't
just yielded that the Torah doesn't say it explicitly. You just conceded to that.
Okay, listen.
What is he doing here? He just conceded it's not in the Torah.
Do you know? Now, just answer yes or no. Do you know what the word inference means?
Yes, it's inferred, like it's implied.
No, not implied. What does the word inference mean?
Break it down.
No, I'm asking you. I don't need to break it down. I'm asking you.
Dude, it's your word. Why are you trying to quiz me on something?
No, I didn't create the word. I didn't create the word.
You already lost the talking point. You just said it's not in the Torah. That's what I said, Tim. The Torah doesn't address when to marry a woman. The Quran does. That was the topic. So you just conceded. So just move forward.
I didn't concede anything.
The Quran tells when to marry a woman, and the Torah doesn't.
No, it does not, because you can marry a 6-year-old. That's
Show
not a
me that
woman.
in the Quran where it says you can marry a 6-year-old.
No,
Show us up.
that's what your prophet did.
That's okay. I'm not even gonna argue. That's another topic. I
No,
just told you they describing sex.
Stop.
Oh my God.
Everybody just heard you. You just acknowledged it not even 2 minutes ago. When I
What did I acknowledge?
When I said she was 6 years old, you said yes, but she consummated the marriage at 9.
Yeah, she was on. She had her when they start having sex with her. She was already on her period, bro. She was at maturity.
Okay, no. Listen. I'm gonna get into that. I'm just saying. I'm showing you how you just acknowledged that in Islam, your prophet literally married a 6-year-old.
Dude, this is irrelevant. I have a laundry list of Christians who did the same thing. Who had sex with.
I'm not. Louis,
I give
it's
you a
not
laundry list of Christian rulers who had sex with little girls, and they were
yes,
Christians.
Christian rulers. Those are not
I'm talking about
Israelites.
in Europe and Spain. They was having sex with little girls.
Louis, because look, I know Christian rulers that murdered and raped people. I know Christians in America that sexually molested men slaves. It happened here. They wore our skins. They ate us. So I don't care about what you can talk about a Christian. I'm not even defending. I'm not a Christian. I'm not defending Christians. And the Bible.
I mean that's true.
No,
But like,
stop.
be
quiet. And the Bible is not a Christian book. It is a book that Christians use, and they use it to conquer. That's what it is. It is not a Christian book. The Bible is not a Christian book. The word Christian is only in the Bible a handful of times, and it's a derogatory term, right? Right? That's either true or false. And if it's not, I'll show you from the King James Study Bible where the word Christian is a derogatory term. So is it true or false? What I'm saying?
True.
Okay. So don't tell me about a Christian, because a Christian has nothing to do with the children of Israel. You're believing in Christ. We're not. I'm not a believer in Christ. And I'm not condemning or condoning the works of Christians, because I'm not mentioning Christians. See, what you just did was we were talking about your prophet. And since your prophet did something that you're ashamed of, okay, watch this here. Let's play a game real quick. Well, I'm gonna show you what I mean. Let's take out your Islamic text that Muhammad married Aisha when she was 6. Let's just, for hypothetical points and purposes, we can get a magic marker and we can write she was 23. So how old is she now? How old is she now?
50. Come on, bro. I'm listening. 23.
No, I'm saying, how old is she? What did I just say?
You just said it, bro. 23.
Okay. Now, you wouldn't be ashamed of that. You wouldn't even argue it. That right there psychologically lets me know that there's a problem with a 6-year-old being married. Because if there was no problem, you would just say, yes, she was 6. Yes, they had sex at 9. And let me tell you something. See, when you start talking about what age, and I'm going to show you, because I've already trapped you. You don't realize it yet. See, so what the Creator did was, because remember, I went into this prior showing you that the people with the most genetic diseases are what people? From what region?
Jews and Arabians.
No, it's not Jews and Arabians. It's Arabians.
The Jews. All right. Anyway, that's not true.
No. The Jews. Listen, I don't like Edomites, but the Jews do not have. They don't rank anywhere close in Down syndrome people. The Arabs control that completely. That's not me. That's not me. Down. That's literally true. I showed it in one of the lives here. I showed it. I had you read it. You read it. So there's no arguing that. From scientific published papers, I might add. So there's no arguing that. Okay. So what I'm saying to you is, you're offended. See, when you look at inference, which I was showing you, let me show you real quick, which I was showing you.
Can you do that? Can I say one thing? This is relevant.
Hold on for a second. I'll let you talk. I don't have a problem letting you talk. The problem I have is when you just keep rambling and you keep trying to change the narrative from what we're discussing. That's the problem I have. So this is the definition of inference. It says the active process of deriving logical conclusions from premises known or assumed to be true, and the act of reasoning from factual knowledge or evidence. The act of reasoning from factual knowledge or evidence. So what you have in the Torah, in the Tanakh, that's the factual evidence we have. So the act of reasoning. See, you think the Torah is supposed to say, this is Son Goku. No, the Torah it doesn't work like that because it's not a religious text at all. It is a moral code. Now, the people carry out the moral code. You can either break it or not, or you can adhere to it. And that's what the laws are. People either break them or adhere to them. That's what the law, and the Most High tells us to adhere to them. But then people continuously break them. Okay? Notice how I'm not sitting here trying to pretend that Israelites don't break laws and that we never broke laws. On the contrary, you're trying to pretend a 6-year-old being married and then having sex to be consummated at 9 is logical. It is not logical, because I'm going to tell you why. When you look at a 9-year-old, even today, that's what I was about to show you. When you look at a 9-year-old, so check this out. When you look at an actual 9-year-old, check this out. As you can see here, it says, what is the average weight of a 9-year-old? How to tell if your 9 years overweight or underweight. By 9 years old, most kids have started to develop a degree of independence in terms of diet and exercise. They might choose their own snacks and prepare some of their own meals, as well as pursue athletic activities on a schedule that suits their personal level of interest. For a parent, it can be tricky to find balance between intervening in a 9-year-old's diet and exercising choices, right? Watch this here. Watch this here in regards to a 9-year-old. Check this out. Now, most people know that humans today, on typical average, are bigger than humans then. Do you understand that, or do you say that's not true?
I apologize. Repeat that.
That humans today are taller. They're bigger than humans of 3,000 years ago.
Yeah. I mean, Josephus said Jesus was 5'1".
Okay.
So that's true.
No, listen, I didn't ask you what Josephus said. I'm asking, do you understand?
I just doubled down and said that's true.
No, you didn't. Just say it's true. Don't double.
Yeah,
you don't have to double down. Just say it's true.
Yeah,
all right, it says right here, using the 50 percentile data as average, because 50 is the middle. That's average. Okay. I know in the past you had trouble understanding what average means. In the middle. Right? So if you're an average student, you're a C student because you got A and B above it, you got D and F below it. In the middle is C. A, B, C in the middle, D, F. So average is 50%, it's in the middle. So it says using the 50 percentile data as average, the average weight for a 9-year-old is 63 pounds. And the average weight for a 9-year-old girl is 64 pounds. So the boy is 63 and the girl is 64. Now that's today when children are bigger. That's with additives and food and hormones, etc. That's today. So if they're 64 pounds today, they were not 64 pounds 1,400 years ago. Now, if the average child weighs anywhere from 5 to 7 pounds, right? A healthy child, not a premature child. Because remember, if you carry the child to term, a little over 9 months, that's a healthy child. That's not a premature baby, right? So if a child comes out in between, let's say 6 and 7 pounds, and you're literally a girl is 64 pounds today at 9 years old, she wouldn't be 64 pounds back then. So that means 1/10 of her body weight is that baby she's carrying at 64 pounds. But the children back then weren't as big, just like the humans, the adults weren't as big. So now if you look at 64 pounds, watch this here. I'm gonna show you. Check this out. see something real quick. Can you see this on the screen right here? Because remember, they have shorter lifespans as well, right? I hope it's showing. Let me see something. Let me see something. Hold on. I just want to make sure you can see this. So you can see it, okay? You see this here on the screen?
Yeah, we can see it, man.
All right. It says right there, it says, we have provided categorical proof that such early match took place in ancient and not so ancient civilization, including the Jewish, Christian, Hindu, Roman, whatever, Native American, or whatever, right? Imam al-Shafi said in Siyah al-Alam Nubaya, volume 10, page 91, during my stay in Yemen, I have come across girls at the age of 9 whom started menstruating. Imam al-Bayak, Balhaq, also noted the word Imam Shaif in Sunan al-Bayak Haki al-Kubra, right? Volume 1, page 319. I have seen in the city of Sanaa a grandmother while she was 21. She menstruated at the age of 9 and gave birth at the age of 10. You see that?
Certainly.
Do you see that?
Certainly.
Okay, so now I'm gonna go to either the hadith or the surah that says she was 9 when they consummated, right? That's your argument, right?
No. Can I have the phone up? Because you said after you're done, I can speak.
Yeah, you can go ahead.
So, and we're going to segue back to the same topic, same page, same book, different page. Right? You with me?
Mm-hmm.
So certainly. So two things what he just said. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Hold on one second. I got a couple people here. Hold on 1 second. All right, let me go back up because I got a lot of what's the name. Lenore De Yuda says it's two sides of the same coin made by the Catholic. What he is talking about. Yep. Being educated doesn't mean you're not ignorant. That's a very ignorant statement in itself. Thank you, Sightlock. Just because you're educated doesn't mean you're ignorant. Technically, everybody's ignorant in some regard, right? Everybody's ignorant in some regard. Like if the word ignorant just means you don't know something. That's all it means. Y'all get so offended as if because y'all have so much pride that y'all think y'all know everything. But like my mentor used to tell me back in the day, there's enough stuff you don't know to make another world. And that's basically true. Let's keep going. Yehuda, Lenore de Yehuda says, what the F? I'm hollering out. The truth say Yah breathes life, breath life into Adam. His soul is life of Yah. And I'm going to go back and touch on that about that breath of life. Because see, his whole eternal doctrine, going to places after life, that all came from the Egyptians. The Egyptians are the first ones with that, with the Ba and the Ka. You see? And that's where he gets the term Kaaba from. He doesn't know that, though. But I'll educate. I'll show him the etymology of everything. As Delta Ru says, we ain't pedals. We are not PDF files, right? Lenore de Yuda says, dude is bugged out. He says, no, let's not move past Muhammad's pedal ways. That part, he married her at age 6. Yep, he married her at 6. Our ancestors were slaves. It's history. Yep, when I was talking about the slave piece. King David says, man, that dude hard-headed, Lord. Okay. And then That Drew says steroids in the chicken. Correct. There's steroids in chicken, beef, etc. So today you see children today developing faster. So they're having their menstrual cycles earlier today than back then. They're lying. And I'm going to show, they're lying saying they had them early back then. Lenard pulled up with the popcorn. Okay. Sightlock says, honestly, to me, that's tantamount to someone having intercourse with his mother or grandmother. The thought alone is inherently detestable. Correct. And guess what? These are things that the Egyptians were doing as well. And you'll notice that with Islam, a lot of the stuff from Islam, like even making salat, how they pray, that's on the walls in Egypt. They didn't invent that. I'll show you pictures. I'll show you the Egyptians doing that 3,000 years before there was even a Muslim. Because a lot, that sun, all that stuff is straight out of Egypt. See, only one people that I'm aware of from a conscious standpoint was told not to follow that stuff. And we got that in our records where Yah told us, don't follow after the ways of the Egyptians. Allah never told the Muslims that, or the Arabs. And somebody up front, top mentioned the Catholics, because that's where that sun worship comes from too. All right, so and then the last one says, last two, he realized he was cooked when you asked her about the ages. He tried to bring up being Christians. No, sir, your prophet is a PDF file. Correct. That's what I'm saying. And see how people are catching your misdirect, Lewis. When I brought that up, you start talking about Christians. Nobody here is a Christian. That's why I had to stop you. So I'm not being unfair to you. I'm just trying to lay the groundwork. That's all I'm doing. Last one says, it says, isn't Ethiopia older than Egypt? Correct, because Ethiopia, Cush is the big brother of Ham, of the son of Ham. It's Cush first, right? And then of course you got, he says PDF file, energy, harvest, and vampirism. And that's really what it is. And that's what the elite are into today. Adrenochrome and with the blood, the whole nine, adrenochrome, right? All right. So now with that being the case, all I'm saying to you is I'm gonna let you talk, but don't take us down a rabbit hole. We're just dealing with something specific, okay? Do you understand what I'm saying?
Sorry.
Okay. So I'm gonna let you speak now because I'm showing you how they're justifying it. But I just showed you, listen, everybody heard you acknowledge that the people today are bigger, more mature than back then. And it's due to things like food, hormones, etc. As Delta Roos brought up, hormones, steroids in the chickens, etc. People actually take immunizations with steroids in them. When people get sick, they give you steroids. And steroids make you bigger. So if the average 9-year-old is 64 pounds, a girl is 64 pounds, that's the average, then back then she couldn't have been that large because everybody back then was smaller. You even went to Josephus and tried to say how JC was 5'1". Most people today, if you see a man that's 5'1", in today's time, he's considered a midget. Islam was meant for the Arabs anyway, never for black people. They had like 1,000 guys before Islam. That's true. Question, how big was Samson? We're going to go into that. It doesn't really mention it per se, but I have some theories on that. So I'm going to write that down. Big was Samson. He was strong and then, okay. All right, so there we go. All right, so now go ahead. I'm going to let you speak. All right, we're going to do a civilized discourse, okay? Go ahead.
So I wrote everything you said down. That's why I was so quiet. First thing, can you hear me? Test it.
I hear you.
Certainly. Absolutely, certainly. So first thing he said, he tried to say the Kaaba came from Kemet in sun worship. So let's take it off the table real quick. Hello?
Uh-huh.
There's 3 times in the Quran where you can't pray. Let's show why it's relevant to the topic. The first thing is when the sun rises. It's 15-minute period when the sun rises. You with me?
Uh-huh.
That's the first time you can't pray. It's haram to pray. Make dua when the sun rises. The second one in the Quran Hadith is when the sun is setting. And then the third one is that it's zenith. Right? You with me?
Yeah, I'm listening. Go ahead. Yeah.
The reason why Allah said not to pray on sunrise, sunset, or when the sun is at the zenith is because that's when the sun worshippers pray. This is not sun worship. Second thing.
No, stop. You didn't quote me on anything then, because I didn't bring it up about sun worship. I didn't say sun worship.
Okay.
I said the
Yes, you did.
Catholics. No. Listen, stop. I said the Catholics, which is sun worship. They go to church on Sunday. I didn't say nothing about no Arabs worshiping the sun. They worship the moon. I didn't say nothing about no Arabs and suns. I literally said Catholics.
Oh, okay. My apologies. Okay, sorry.
I thought you wrote it down.
Yeah, I wrote that down. My apologies. Okay, you said I've been saying
do it down wrong.
Yeah. We're gonna get to the Kaaba thing too in a second. So before we cook that little Mickey Mouse argument. So as far as, can you hear me? As far as Rasulullah marrying a child, right? With me?
Yeah.
To address that, in the nuts, in Christendom, England, right?
No,
England.
we're not dealing with. Listen. King Nara just stopped you from doing that. That's why I stopped you from doing it too. Let me go back and put on the screen what he said. This is what he said. He realized he was saying cooked. When you asked about her ages, he tried to bring up Christians. No, sir. Your prophet is a PDF file.
Okay, let's take Christian at the table. No problem. Certainly. It was commonplace amongst kings in England in the Middle Ages to have sex with little girls. It wasn't far-fetched at all. And I'm talking women, little girls on their menstruals. It was like 9 to 12 years old. Dude, look it up. It was commonplace in
Louis. Nobody is advocating for that but you. You're trying to justify. We're not.
No, I'm not. I'm trying to make a point. I'm saying, like, today we look at like far-fetched. In the Middle Ages, in the middle period.
No. Stop. No, I'm not looking at it like it's far-fetched. People have abused children for millennia. Everybody knows this.
I'm not talking about people. I'm talking about kings and rulers who are having sex.
I know.
Hold on, brother.
Hold on. Hold on 1 second. Let me show you something. And this is what I'm saying, because you're just saying things at this point. Listen.
What are you talking about? I'm saying things.
Listen.
It was commonplace to have sex with 9 to 12-year-old girls back then. It wasn't like weird. Like people look at you had sex with a 9-year-old. It wasn't weird back then. That's today's standards.
No, it was always weird. You just couldn't do nothing against the king. Oh. Hold on, stop. Listen closely. You think if Trump and the Secret Service ran up in your home and you had a 9-year-old little sister and they took her, that's nothing you can do. If he sent Secret Service in, there's nothing you can do. What are you talking about? First off, you know they coming. They come and take her. You got a pitchfork. You can't beat the military might of the king and his guards and his archers and his knights. If you want to talk about England at that time, his knights. You don't even have any armor. So that's what I'm saying. Them doing it is not justification. It's always been frowned upon. The person that it happens to doesn't want it to happen. It's always been frowned upon, except to one group of people. That's the Israelites, because we're the only ones with some sense. And that's why in our subconscious today, if you look at hold on, let's look at this logically. Even today, one of the number one things that our Caucasian counterparts today in America are always caught doing is what?
Incest?
No, pedophilia.
Oh, pedophilia. Okay.
Like you can go almost every week.
Wait, that's irrelevant. You go to jail for that.
No, it's not. No, listen, it's not irrelevant.
In America, you go to jail for that. Look at the rapper Cash Out. He just got sentenced to life in prison on a RICO case, bro, for raping somebody. They gave him life. You get caught doing pedophilia in America, you're going to jail, bro.
No, raping someone, and
look at Brother Polite. They found his semen on his kid's shirt. He caught 7 years because they found his semen on the dude's kid's shirt.
Was it a good thing or a bad thing?
Are you serious?
What you mean? Am I serious,
son? What was your flex about bringing up pedophilia in America when you go to jail for that? What was
no. What you can go to jail for doesn't matter.
That was a nothing burger. Why would you even try to use that as some kind of flex?
Louis, that's a big thing right now in America that everybody's asking for. It's called the Epstein files. What are the Epstein files about?
Heard the phrase with educators.
The Epstein files are literally about a man named Jeffrey Epstein, an Ashkenazi Jew. He's an actual Jew running a huge sex trafficking ring. Everybody knows that it's tons of people involved, and it was involved with children on an island, Epstein Island. And they rode his plane there. You got people like Chris Tucker. You got people like Prince Charles. Andrew. You got Bill Clinton. Okay? You got Bill Gates. All the heavy hitters. All the heavy hitters were going to this island that was known for pedophilia.
More of the story?
The moral of the story is when Trump got into office, he said he was going to release the Epstein files. As of last week into this week, he's now saying, it's nothing, don't worry about it. And everybody's pissed. Because when he got in office, Pam Bundy, I think her name is Pam Bundy, she came on and said, I got the Epstein files on my desk, and they did a whole stunt thing where they had all these high-profile YouTubers come to the White House and walk out with binders in regards to Epstein. And then now, let's say 6 months later, oh, it was nothing, guys. But Ghislaine Maxwell is in jail right now. You don't even know who Ghislaine Maxwell is.
I'm grappling with your point.
The point is, in this land, regardless if there's a law against it or not, the people at the higher ups, they don't get caught. Nothing happens to them. A rapper, yes. Polite, yes. These are nobodies. I'm talking about the movers and shakers of the world. People have been talking about adrenochrome in the chat, Lewis. Adrenochrome is when you literally drink the blood of children to stay youthful. And you take that blood, you inject it in your skin. You can look at videos of, what's that actress, Sandra Bullock, talking about this.
Okay, they're above the law. We agree with that.
Huh?
They're above the law. We agree with that.
Okay. That doesn't make it right, though. That's what the book of Daniel 4:17 is saying. What does it say in Daniel 4:17, Lewis?
I don't know. Tell us.
It says in Daniel 4:17, this matter is by the decree of the watchers, and the demand by the word of the Holy Ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and give it to whomsoever he will, and set it up over it the basis of men. The basest. The word basis means almost beast-like. And if you look at the title, it says the simulation, the beast, and the 12 tribes, what they're not telling you. That's the beast. That's the basis of men. That's who's ruling the world. That's why it says in Job, when the righteous rule, the people rejoice. When the wicked rule, the people mourn.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Charlie, so you made a statement that the Kaaba came from Kemet, right? Kemet.
It's on the screen, son.
Okay, that's where it came from. Okay, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, it's on the screen.
I'm gonna hold you to this. I'm gonna hold your feet to the fire because I'm about to destroy this argument. And my mentor killed David Wood on this argument, and he was dumbfounded. Like, Dave, hello? David was good friends with that Kafir Sam Shimon. And my mentor, you probably heard of Central Dawa on Instagram. He gave him his precept. Huh?
No, I haven't heard of him. I don't.
The Central Dawa, my mentor, he debated David Wood, the Kafir. And he went to this verse in the Bible, and he couldn't respond. He didn't know about it. He couldn't respond. It was so embarrassing. But anyway, so let me ask you a question, right? In the Quran and Sunnah, we walk around the cobblestone. You know the cobblestone, just the F in the room, right? And people, why do people climb? I remember Zach asked me this before too. You could correct it if I'm wrong, right, Zach?
Yeah, I'm going to go to YouTube and show you them putting their private stuff on.
Yeah, I agree with that. It happens. I agree with that.
Right,
it's irrelevant. It's all irrelevant. It's irrelevant. So, people climbing over each other by the hundreds of thousands. This is pagan. You're rubbing your penis and vagina on it. You're kissing it. In Islam, hello. Hello.
Yeah, Louis, you're not saying that. You're just saying.
In Islam, when you kiss the stone, it abrogates sins. Like it purges certain of your sins. It gives you good deeds when you kiss it. Right? You with me? So when you kiss the stone, when you make Hajj, right? You with me?
Hold on, stop. What you just said, that when you kiss the stone, it erases sins. Is that in the Quran?
No, that's in the Hadith.
Okay, thank you.
But here's the more of the story. Here's the question. Second to the question. And this is it for Hebrew Israelites and Christians. So this whole little doctrine that Hajj is pagan because you're rubbing your penis and kissing it to abrogate sins is pagan. That's just, I know that nobody knows this verse that I'm about to pull. So, do we find that concept in the Bible where any? You with me? You ready?
What concept?
Do we find any concept in the Bible in the amongst the prophets, right? Not in the Torah, the prophets, right? Where a prophet kissed an inanimate object that purged his sins?
No.
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 Okay, repeat my question and then repeat your answer.
You said anywhere in the prophets, because you're talking about the prophets. You said anywhere in the prophet. That's what you say in the prophets, where he kissed the inanimate object and cleansed his sins.
That's not in the Bible?
Yeah, I just said no.
Oh, he's about to get embarrassed. After this, he might delete the video. It's about to get so ugly. It's in the Bible. Go to Isaiah chapter 6. I know you don't know this verse because One West don't teach it, and the moment don't teach it. So I know you don't know the verse because they don't teach it.
You said who don't teach it?
No black Israelites know this verse unless they rub shoulders with Muslims. I only know it because I'm a Muslim. Isaiah chapter 6. Let me show you. Hello?
Okay,
And Isaiah, prophet Isaiah, right?
Chapter 1 now?
Hold on, I'm gonna give it to you in a second. Prophet, we're gonna look at this right now. Ready?
Tell me the chapter and verse so I can look at it. You can talk.
I'm gonna give it to you now. I'm gonna give it to you now. He kissed an inanimate object.
Hey, just give me the chapter and verse.
You already cut him. He's cut him.
Chapter 6. I don't know. I'm trying to go to it. You can talk while I'm typing.
All right, Isaiah 6, 5 through 6. Isaiah chapter 6, 5 through 6. We're gonna see that Isaiah kissed an inanimate object, right? With me? And it purged his sin. And it says this verbatim. He kissed that and it purged sin. Then we do it with the Kaaba. We kiss it, we rub it, and it purged sins. The same thing happened to Isaiah in the Bible. He didn't know this, but that's okay. Rabbi Lewis is here now. Go ahead.
Go ahead. What? You want me to show it on the screen?
No, I want you to hide it behind your back. What do you think? What do you think, bro? Pull it up.
You were still talking. I didn't want to interrupt you.
Yeah, certainly. So this is headshot for Christianity and Hebrew Israelitism. The pagan, the couple's pagan, you kiss it. Are you retarded? That's in the Bible. Same thing.
Y'all, this is why now watch how embarrassing this is. So
start at verse 4, bro.
I'm gonna start at verse 1.
Let's do it. The point is in verse 6 just for quality purposes. We can read. He's coming after this. He's done. He might as just delete the video and wrap it up. Go ahead.
So and guys, when I read this, I want you to let me know if this is literal. Okay. Here we go. In the year that King Uzziah died, who's the I here? Isaiah, right?
Correct.
Okay. Saw also the Lord sitting upon a throne, high and lifted up, and his train filled the temple. This is a vision, Lewis. Above it stood the seraphim.
Oh, stop. What is the seraphim? Explain before we go forward.
These are the creatures that are around the Most High.
Are they holy?
They're around the Most High. Yeah.
Can they sin?
No.
Okay, keep going.
Each one had 6 wings. With twain he covered his face, and with twain he covered his feet, and with twain he did fly. And one cried unto another and said, Holy, holy, holy.
That's got you. So you know they can fly. We just read it. Read on.
Okay. And one cried to another and said, Holy, holy, holy is the Lord of hosts. The whole earth is full of his glory. Verse 4. And the post of the door moved at the voice of him that cried, and the house was filled with smoke. What house was filled with smoke?
The temple.
Okay. All right. Then said I,
Here we go. This is it. Go ahead.
Then said I, woe is me, for I am undone, because I am a man of unclean lips, and I dwell in the midst of people of unclean lips. For mine eyes have seen the King, the Lord of hosts. Then flew one of the seraphims unto me, having a live coal in his hand, which he had taken with the tongues from off the altar.
Hold on. So the seraphim who walk around the stone of Yohe Wafe, he takes a inanimate object. It says live coal.
No,
right?
Lewis, they're not physical.
Huh?
They're not physical.
Okay, keep reading. So he has a live coal in his hand. The seraphim comes down to Isaiah. He has live coal in his hand. Let's see what he did to it. Read on.
Then flew one of the seraphims unto me, having a live coal in his hand, which he had taken with the tongue from off the altar. What is a tongue?
Look it up. Get the word there in Hebrew.
No, I'm asking you. I think everybody here know how to cook, know what a tongue is. What is the tongue?
We know what a tongue is. Get the Hebrew word there.
What is a tongue?
Brother, Put the Hebrew word there. So we can
I
look
don't,
at the Hebrew.
Louis, if you look at the screen, I'm in the KJV. I'm not even in my, I don't even need to. I don't even need to. What is a tongue?
Honestly, the word in Hebrew. This is moving the goalpost because he's about to get cut.
Not. Everybody here understands what a tongue is except you.
I know what a
This
tongue is right
None
here.
of this is, okay, look, I'm going to show you. None of this is literal.
None of
Now,
it's literal. I'll keep reading and
hold
go
on,
finish the verse
hold on
and
for a
show
second.
me it's not literal.
I got a couple things. Hold on. It says, King Nara says, Josephus was an Edomite anyway. Those writings were by Idumeans. Jesus never existed. Right on. Detru says that doesn't make sense. Sightlock said Islam is based on Gnostic beliefs. When you study at its root, most Muslim scholars are lawyers by definition. They need to protect that niche with the taqiyya and be able to defend it. Yep, they have to do the lies, the celebratory lies, to be able to cover tracks. That's what the hadith really is for. The hadith is separate from the Quran because the Quran is supposed to be the word of their God to Jibril, to Muhammad. But then it was so many errors in it, they had to come back with a hadith to clean it up. So now,
that's bogus. Now read verse 67 again and break it down.
Who said, especially the Catholic Church and priests, what happens to them? Correct. Then Leonard de Yuda says, the white man loves.
Your boy's in the chat. Zach, guess who's in the chat? Chris Harris. He wants the link. Woo. It's gonna get hot. Chris Harris in the building. Let's put the link in the chat so they can come on, Zach.
Link is in the chat now.
If we let him up though, can you read 67? Because he might take it to another direction.
I'm not gonna. I'm reading the people that's talking. I'm reading their comments.
I know, but you digress from reading it. Can you finish reading 67?
Yes, because I have to read. If you wait too long, then when I read their comments, people don't even know exactly what it's watching.
Oh, son, okay, I think you wrapped it up. I read verse 67 for us, please.
He says, where we at? Leonard de Yuda says, blood and hormones of tortured children. It says, Deltaru says, Rabbi Lewis, you do know the president can have you deleted and it will be clean. He get away with it. Just another casualty. Correct. Leonard says, man, Leonard, I'm sorry, not Leonard. Leonard. Deltaru says, man, that's crazy. I can't fathom that. And then Leonard says, Delta, they wicked as hell. Then King Nara says, I can't believe this man tried to justify the abuse of children. People in power have been doing it.
Zach, see Chris in the back. He might be in the back. Let him up.
He's not in the back. I already put it in the what's the name.
Oh, okay, all right.
Right below where you just talked, Chris, the link is right there. You can copy and paste it.
Yeah, if we let him up. Hold on, read verse 67 real quick and break it down.
I had to mute him, y'all. So Delta Ru says, same guy who was GMS. And he says, Mint says I meant. Leonard, all facts. And then says facepalm from Sightlock. Chris Harris says, link bro. And then of course, Sightlock says, I'll join after my run. Gotcha. Okay, I don't see Chris Harris. He's not on here yet. He hasn't came in the back yet.
Wait for him to pop up. And I read verse 6 and 7.
All right,
make it make sense.
6 and 7. Then flew one of the seraphims unto me, having a live coal in his hand, which he had taken with the tongue from off the altar. And he laid
tongue takes you on the tongue, he asks you 10 times. It's like when you grab something hot so you don't touch your hand. Read on.
No, a tongue is a cooking instrument that you pick hot things up with.
Yeah. You don't touch with your hand so you don't burn your hand, bro.
So why did he use a tongue if it's in his hand?
That's not the point. Verse 7 is the point, brother.
No, it's not the point because a literal live coal would burn his mouth. It's not literal.
See what he did with the coal. Read it.
Listen. And it says, and then flew one of the seraphims unto me, having a live coal in his hand, which he had taken with the tongue from off the altar. And he laid it upon
tongue. Where's that tongue come from? Was it come from heavenly realms, or was their tongue in the little temple?
It's not literal.
It's not literal. Okay, read verse 7. It's headshot.
No, I'm trying to read 6 and 7. You keep interrupting.
Oh no, you got the flow. I won't interrupt again. Go ahead.
Hold on. Here's Chris now. I am to the stage. All right. What's up? So then 6 says, then flew one of the seraphims unto me, having a live coal in his hand, which he had taken with the tongue from off the altar. Verse 7, he laid it upon my mouth and said, lo, this hath touched thy lips.
It touched his lips. Did he kiss it? It said it touched his lips. Now we'll see what happened after it touched his lips. Read on.
And thine iniquity is taken away and thy sin purged.
So his sin was purged by the hot coal. You kissed it and it purged.
All right. So anybody,
Rabbi Lewis, that's incorrect. Whenever you see fire, these are symbolic for purity.
Purification. That's all
That's
it is.
all.
Purification. So look, when you go back up to the top, check this out. When you go
Go
back up
ahead.
to the top, it tells you what? For the purification piece, it says, hold on one
It's right
second.
there.
It says, when you look at verse 5, then said I, woe is me, I am dumb because I'm a man of unclean lips.
Right.
That's not talking about your literal lips. That's talking about people talking, the things that come from you. And then
That's
he said,
right.
and I'm amongst the people, in the midst of the people that have unclean lips as well. So
That's
this
right.
is purification. This
That's
is
all.
not literal. A literal coal off the altar would have melted his damn lips off.
What if it cooled off? How do you know it didn't cool off when he kissed it?
Because it
Who
said
didn't
he
cool
used
off
it.
already?
Because he
Coal cools
said,
off.
because it said he used the tongue. A tongue is the thing you use to pick up like meat on a barbecue pit. Those are tongues. Because it's too hot to handle. But the coal is purified. The fire, the coal. What does fire do? It purifies. We have multiple examples of the refiner coming out
Is
what?
Chris Harris still there?
Yes, he the one just told you was wrong.
I think I don't see him. He's not there.
He's at the bottom. He's here.
Oh, Chris, you there?
I'm here letting Hezekiah speak.
Oh,
It is his
shalom, brother. It's been a
platform.
minute. How you been, brother?
Yeah. Hey, Ezekiel, I'm gonna be honest with you. You're not gonna get too far with Rabbi Lewis. He's kind of weird and strange if you notice. You know what I'm saying? But I was coming on here to invite you to a biblical inerrancy channel that are pertaining to the as it pertains to the New Testament and a lot of the so-called prophecies that they got wrong. I still got your number in my phone, but I wanted to invite you on there as a lead speaker
When is it?
because it's a channel that I'm creating about biblical inerrancy pertaining to the New Testament and how Jesus got everything wrong. Every
Okay.
time he spoke, he got something wrong. Like Matthew 27, I think it's Matthew 27, verse 9, when it about the prophet Jeremiah speaking. I brought that up to some Christian apologists
Yeah,
that I know that wants to come around. It said that Jeremiah spoke that prophecy, but he never did.
never
It
did.
was in fact Zechariah. So we were just those are some of the things that we talking about, and I got a long list of people. And so far, I've been having like 300 people viewing it, and it'll help give you some light also. But as
Okay.
I still have your number. Don't worry, I'll get in
I got
contact with you. But
it. Okay.
yeah. I really want to get you over there.
I'll come on.
Okay, no doubt.
Did I just get
Last
finished
time we
cutting
talked
Chris
was what,
Harris
last
up on
year?
Club? Did I just got finished cutting this guy Chris on Clubhouse the other day?
I think the last time
No.
we was talking was last year. Huh? I think me, you, and there was another guy on the phone. Was that last year?
Yeah, no, that was this year. Yeah, last year. That was last year. You're right. That was last year. Yeah, yeah. You cut them up pretty bad.
Yeah,
You cut them
yes.
up pretty bad.
Yeah, my number's still the same, brother. Just hit me up. I got you.
Okay, okay, cool. Just remember when you're talking to Rabbi Lewis, he's a literalist.
I,
He's gonna take everything literal. You see what I'm saying?
but like, see how you just told him that the coal is just symbolic for purification.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Hold on,
Because
hold on.
first
Well,
off,
show us up, bro. Show me in this chapter where Yodi Wabe said this is symbolic of purification.
no,
Give it
no,
to us. Show it in
Lewis,
the verse. And I
listen,
said, well, this is a symbol of
Lewis,
purification.
stop.
Dude, he
Hold on.
kissed it.
He just, as he just said, you're literally just a literalist with everything, and you're now literally trying to say, "Show me where the Most High." Listen, I want to explain this to you. There is no chapter or verse in the Bible that said Abraham had to shoot a number two. But
That's a logical fallacy. That is a logical
let me
fallacy.
mute you again. But being a man, we all know he would have had to do a number two. But according to you, he never did a number two because there's no verse that says it. You see, that's what Chris is telling you now. You being this hyper literal person, like if you. So what I'm saying is this. First off, your lips, literally your lips can't sin. Your lips can't sin. Literally, your lips don't talk.
That's not true on Judgment Day. Your lips.
Before I was interrupted again, your lips can't sin. When the scripture is referring to lips, it's just talking about speech because your lips help you enunciate.
That's not true. In the Quran, in the Hadith, it says your lips are
I'm
going to
not. We're not
testify.
dealing with the Quran, son. You're in
Yeah,
Isaiah
you're a
6.
kafir. You are a kafir. You
Hey,
get it?
Hezekiah, can I just show him something real quick in this same in
Yeah,
the
go.
book of Isaiah?
Yeah,
In
go
the
ahead.
book of Isaiah, chapters 1 through 4, it clearly tells you that this is a vision. So if
Correct.
this is a vision, it cannot be literal. This is Isaiah giving us a vision. When
Hold
you
on.
have
So
a
this is how
dream,
retarded that argument is.
hold
That's
on, stop.
retarded.
It's
That's
not
retarded.
retarded because that's what the book says.
No, you don't know what you're talking about. You don't know the
I
Bible.
read it's in the
Hold on. So
book.
ask your question.
It's
Okay,
on the.
don't ask me any questions. It's in the book.
Okay,
It's
let's
on
say
the.
you're right. So ask you a
No, no,
question.
no, no. Listen, stop. Listen,
Read
stop.
it. It's on the
On the
screen.
screen,
I
the
got you.
vision.
Can I ask him a question, please, Zach, please?
Read
Yeah,
it. It's on the
Brother,
screen.
I heard you, brother. Let me ask you a question.
Okay, is it ridiculous for me to say that, Rabbi Lewis? Yes or no?
Okay, I'll take, they don't, it's a vision. Let me ask you a question.
Okay, is
What,
a vision, hold on, stop.
oh
Hold
my
on.
God.
Is a vision literal?
We'll deal with that next. I have a
I
question
need
about a
you to
vision.
deal with it now. Is
Yeah,
a
okay, I agree with you.
vision
Okay,
literal?
it's not little. Let me ask you a question.
Okay, go ahead. Ask your question.
I'm gonna show you don't know what you're talking about. In the book of Acts, what did
We're
Stephen see
not
before he
talking
died?
about acts that is moving
Bro,
the
answer the
goalposts.
question.
no,
We're not
Lewis,
talking about acts. We're
Lewis,
talking about
Isaiah.
Isaiah.
Okay, he's not. Hold, let me just cook real quick. Hold on, Zach. Let me say this real quick to clear my name. He doesn't know what he's talking about. In the book of Acts, can you guys?
We
Lewis.
are
Can I
not
finish
talking
making my
about
point, please?
acts. We are talking
Lewis,
about
you moving the
Isaiah.
goalpost.
I'm not moving the goalposts. Let me make my point, please, Zach.
Go ahead,
Zach.
go ahead, go ahead. Just go ahead, Lewis. Go ahead, Lewis.
Yeah,
Go.
god damn. So I'm just making a point. I said in Acts, Stephen, you know who Stephen was, right?
Go
Yes,
ahead.
he's the one that got stoned by
Yeah,
Paul.
stop. He got stoned. He saw a vision of Jesus of Nazareth doing what? Sitting next to Yod-Heh-Wav-Heh. That was a vision. So you telling me he's not next to
Okay.
Yod-Heh-Wav-Heh? You guys
Okay. Did
remember
he
this?
literally see his false savior in the sky that didn't save him?
It was the vision. Wasn't it a vision?
Okay. How did the writer know,
No,
Stephen? How does, excuse me, let me say this real quick. What you're doing is moving the goalposts and trying to pivot away from what we just proved to you.
No, you're detracting. You're saying
Isaiah
a
just,
vision can't be
excuse me,
literal.
Stephen did not write the book of Acts.
correct.
That's irrelevant.
It was somebody else that wrote the book of Acts, probably the same writer of the book of Luke. And he was not an eyewitness to the events. He's telling a story. So it is strictly for narrative basis only. So Stephen is not here to prove what he saw. Isaiah is telling you what he had in a vision.
In a vision.
So you cannot sit up there and say that it is literal, and that's where you die. It's
Simple.
over.
It's simple. And listen, look at chapter 1, verse 1. The vision of Yeshua, the son of Amoz, which he saw concerning Yahudah and Jerusalem in the days of Uzziah, Jotham, Ahaz, Hezekiah, and the kings of Yahudah. It's a vision. And remember, there really are no chapters and verses.
No, it's a scroll.
Yeah, there's no chapter and verses. That was added by Europeans much later.
Okay, so let's cut this little doctrine. This nigga don't know who he talking to. Go to Job 11:6, Zach. Pull that up.
Okay, now you're reading Job. Did Job write the book of Job?
Go to Job 11:6. It's not just one level of
Lewis,
interpreting
Lewis,
scripture.
no, Lewis, listen. We can't run all over the place.
I'll just read it myself. You don't want to read it because you
No,
don't want to read it?
listen, no, what you're gonna do is you're gonna show some decorum.
All right, go ahead, bro. I'm just reading
Because
a Bible verse, brother.
listen, you made a statement.
Oh my God.
While he was talking, I went back to Isaiah chapter 1, and he
I didn't
corrected.
ask Isaiah. I said in Isaiah 6, what is this
There
was a
is
vision.
no listen. There is no real Isaiah chapter 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all the way down to 66.
Now he's
There
gonna
is
reinvent the wheel.
Lewis. The chapters and verses, as you know, were added later to help English speakers and other people that are
You're
non-Israelite.
reinventing the wheel.
Do you want to
Okay.
get kicked off?
Nah, go ahead, man. I'm done. Go ahead.
Okay, I'm not reinventing the wheel. Chapter 1, verse 1. As he was saying it, I went right back to chapter 1. And it's on the screen. The second word is literally vision. The third
Yes.
word is the preposition of, and then Yeshaya. It's the vision of Yeshaya. That's what
Okay,
it's
let
all
me
mentioned.
can I get Job 11:6 real
No,
quick to
you
respond to
can't.
that?
No, you gotta listen.
Oh my god.
Because your lips can't sin. When it's all throughout the scriptures, when it says your lips are sinning, it's talking about what you're doing with your speech. You can bear false witness. You can lie.
That's in your Mickey Mouse Bible. The Quran tells you that your lips are gonna testify you on
What?
Judgment Day. Yom
Tony,
Kiyama.
you
Your
brought up
lips are gonna tell everything you said wrong. Your lips,
you brought up Isaiah chapter 6, and now you're running to the Quran.
dude. He just went to Isaiah 1. Nigga, we in Isaiah 6. Why would
No,
you take
we're
us
not
to a different chapter?
done. All
Are
of
you
this.
retarded?
Okay,
Are you
look, hold on,
slow?
hold on, watch this here. If you read Isaiah chapter 1, verse 4, it says, our sinful nation, a people laden with iniquity, a seed of evildoers, children of the corrupters, they have forsaken Yah, they have forsaken the Holy One of Israel unto anger. Now stop. The people are laden with iniquity, which is sin, and they are a seed of evildoers. Now, when you go to Isaiah chapter 6, how did he describe those same people? Let's look at it. It's the same continuous thought. Verse 5, verse 5. Then said I, woe is me. This is Yeshaya talking. For I am undone, because I am a man of unclean lips, and I dwell in the midst of a people of unclean lips. The same thing in chapter 1. The same thing. That's it. So now the Most High, who's giving him a word, he's speaking the word of the Most High. That's purification. He's to go tell the people. Prophets don't come to you when things are good. They
I
come
just
when
have any bearings on anything I said. I
They come,
said,
prophets come and give a warning.
that's
okay, let
it.
me repeat my point. The point was he kissed the lives cold
No, he
and he
didn't.
No, he
purged his
did
sin.
not.
He
No,
did
he
not.
did not.
Yes,
Louis,
he
He
did. Nigga,
gave
we
a
just read it.
vision.
Louis, listen to what you're saying. If okay, how about this here? Let me ask you this question, Louis. Are you a man of God?
My man, yeah.
Do me a favor, real quick. I want you to do this in all earnest. Go in your kitchen, turn the stove on, and put your lips on the flame, and keep your phone running so that we can hear it.
So Hezekiah, what Hezekiah is asking you here is simply, Rabbi Lewis,
He's
and you call
gaslighting. But
yourself
go
a
ahead.
rabbi. No, he's not gaslighting. If you are saying this is literal, then this would mean that his mouth would have literally burned.
Yes, because it can't be literal and then non-literal in the same breath. If you're gonna make it literal, then the literal coal has to be hot to burn. But your
And
lips
why
don't sin. Your
This is
look,
and
listen,
why
ridiculous.
would
If
listen.
you
you
read Job
argue
11
this?
and 6, it
Why
tells
would
you,
you
oh my God, go ahead.
why would you first say yes, a vision is not literal, nor can a vision be taken literal, and then turn right back around and say this is literal?
What
Are
are you
we
talking
talking
about?
to a
If you read,
child
hold on,
or talking to a
let me
man?
respond to that, brother. Let me respond to that, brother. Did not Ezekiel in the book of Ezekiel have visions of the temple, the third temple that hasn't been built yet? He had visions about it, and it's about the temple
So
that's going to
it's
give
not
No,
eternal
okay.
life.
Look,
no,
listen.
no, no.
Listen.
That's no.
If
No, what do
Ezekiel,
you mean? No,
listen.
It
If
does not
Ezekiel,
say that's the third temple.
of course it does. It's in Ezekiel.
And they
The
were
scholars call it.
no, hold on, no, that's
He
not that's
doesn't know what he's talking about. He
incorrect.
doesn't know what he's talking about.
Ezekiel, excuse me, first of all, it does not say third temple.
does
Second
it?
of all, that was during the Babylonian captivity. What happened to the temple? Who was it destroyed by? So they
Neb-
were promised, the God of
Nebuchadnezzar,
Israel promised.
Nebuchadnezzar. But let me ask you a
Thank
question,
you.
brother.
No, excuse me,
That's
let me
irrelevant.
finish. Excuse me, stop. So what happened was God was promising them a return to their land after their what? Their 75 years in
70,
desolation.
that's 70 years. Yeah, that's 70
70
years.
years. 70 years, excuse me, I said 75. So he promised them 70 years in desolation. So Ezekiel, Jeremiah, they spoke about these things. And they spoke about going home and rebuilding the temple. You could read about that in Habakkuk and the book of Ezra and Nehemiah.
Okay, so let me
Correct.
ask you a question. Let me ask you a question, Zach. Under which king was the temple built? Under what king?
Well, the
Okay,
king,
it was built
wait,
during I got this one. It was built under Darius of Persia. There
Darius. Okay,
was no,
when did Ezra go back? Under what king?
okay, it does not say Ezra returned home
Ye-
anywhere in the book of Ezra.
Yes, it does.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm thinking Ezekiel. Excuse me. Ezra returned home under Darius. Under Darius.
Incorrect. No, he didn't.
Okay. So what's your point?
He doesn't know. I know you know. You don't know what you're talking about.
Okay.
look
What's
up,
your
look up,
point?
look up Ezekiel's temple on Wikipedia. They'll tell you this is the future temple. It's not Jubel's
Excuse
temple.
me. Who was the king when Darius was king? I mean, when Ezra returned. Tell us.
Xerxes. Oh, this is
Xerxes.
Xerxes. Go to Ezra chapter 7, 7 through 8. Get that,
Okay.
Zach.
Artaxerxes. And hold on. This is funny because who is Artaxerxes?
I said
Artaxerxes
Xerxes.
is a
Xerxes.
Greek name. Xerxes is a Greek name.
Okay. What's your point?
My point is, you were just arguing with him to read a Hebrew word when it fits your agenda. Now you're reading a Greek name.
Let me say it like this here. Let me say it like this here.
Yeah.
I don't get his point. What's your point about the Greek thing?
No, listen, because early, I don't know if you remember, because you probably don't remember, but early on this broadcast, you told me to look up in Yeshaya chapter 6, the word tongue in Hebrew. You don't
Wait,
Now
remember
hold
that?
you're
on. Hold
reading
on. Before you
Greek.
say,
His name would have
Chris.
been pronounced. His name would have been pronounced Azarius.
Yeah,
That
that
would
it's
have
in
been his
it says it in Ezra
pronunciation.
7. It says Xerxes, and in brackets it says Aharius. So
Okay,
that
but
was
why
his
are you
name.
asking me about what king did Ezra return home under? You said
Correct.
that Ezekiel spoke of a third temple.
Correct.
Where does it say that in Ezekiel? Nowhere.
Go look
Word,
up Ezekiel's temple. They call it
no,
on
no,
Wikipedia.
listen, Lewis. If you
Oh my God.
listen, I'm trying to help you. If you Google, the temple, the Christian apologists are going to use that.
Thank you.
Let me try to explain to you. They're going to use that as a third temple coming. But when you go to Ezekiel, does it say third temple? It's either yes or no.
No.
So
So
listen.
you
Now you're
go
trying
ahead. Go ahead, bro.
to throw away the
Now you're
scriptures.
doing the popcorn the kettle black. You're doing what I did. You're being hyper literal, Lewis. No, you're being hyper literal.
No, Lewis, listen,
Because it doesn't
listen.
explicitly say third temple. It doesn't mean third temple.
Okay,
You're doing
Lewis,
the same thing you're accusing
let me
me
ask you
of.
a question, Lewis. Let me ask you a question. Who's the oldest, Ezekiel or Daniel?
Daniel?
No, he's not.
What year was
What?
Daniel?
No.
And see, that's the problem. That's the problem right there. See, Ezekiel is older. Listen,
Wait, what?
Ezekiel is the one prophet.
Nick, Daniel never went back from Babylon. He stayed in Babylon.
I didn't actually wait. I said who's the oldest, and
Why
you
is that?
told me.
Who's older? How is that relevant?
Because if Ezekiel is older and he's talking about the temple being rebuilt, he can't be talking about a third one when
Oh,
the
so
first.
are you saying that Ezekiel's temple was
No,
Zerubbabel's
no,
temple?
listen. If you
Oh
listen,
my God.
carefully, you'll understand what I'm saying. If Ezekiel is older than Daniel, then that means he's before the Babylonians destroyed the temple. So there's only still Solomon temple at this point. This is what Chris is trying to explain to you. So if the temple is destroyed, later after Ezekiel, he couldn't have been talking about a third one when the second one had been, the first one had been destroyed.
Okay, two things to that. First of all,
No,
Ezekiel's writings. Oh
listen.
my God, I get cut off again. Go ahead.
Listen, I know you. How quick you just responded, I know you understand what I'm saying.
Of course
Listen
I do. What are you
closely.
talking about? Not
Okay,
only is he describing,
okay, I'll
not only
mute
is
you.
he describing the third temple.
I'll mute you. I'll mute you because you're not listening. There's no reason to describe a third temple because when he was alive, the first temple hadn't been gone. They
That's
hadn't even.
irrelevant. Jeremiah talks about Babylon and the
Yes,
daughter of Babylon,
no.
Yes,
which is
yes, he
America.
does.
First
It seemed like
temple.
before Babylon even came.
That's the first temple. That's still Solomon's temple.
What are you talking about?
Okay, listen.
Jeremiah talks about the actual Babylon and then a future Babylon, meaning the daughter of Babylon.
No,
No.
hold on. Hezekiah,
Oh,
Hezekiah. Well, I know
yeah,
what he's doing. What he's trying to do is mix his one West traditions with the
correct.
Tanakh.
Correct.
And then he pulls from Christian eschatology and he mixes it with the one West.
Third
And so he
temple.
throws it right. It's just like Jesus' second coming. He
Correct.
already came back according to the New Testament.
Yeah,
You understand what I'm saying? He already came back.
he
So
met
what they do,
and all that.
right? Right. So what they do is they pull from Christian traditions and then they mix it into the One West
Correct.
doctrine. That's why I
That's
keep saying you cannot superimpose a hadith, a
correct.
Quran, Christian eschatology, or any of this stuff upon the Tanakh. Because just like all these prophecies that the New Testament uses, when you go read the Tanakh, it tells you, and
That already
it
happened.
came to pass.
Yeah, that already happened.
Just like Ezekiel, it tells you, and it came to pass on the third day of Debar, in the morning, I had a vision. He'll tell you that. The writer is telling you that. So there's nothing future there. The words being expressed here are all in a present or past tense form. So that's where you guys mess up at all the time. They got you stroking out up here, Hezekiah. This easy, bro.
Isaiah, can I show that real quick?
Because see, when he said the phrase third temple, that's not in Ezekiel.
It's
But
nowhere in there.
but if you go to a website with Christians explaining it, they'll just
They'll say that's the third temple. Yeah.
but here's the deal. Ezekiel is older than Daniel. So
Yes.
when Ezekiel was alive, there was no second temple. There was only the first. So when Ezekiel is describing the temple being destroyed, and then you get another temple, it wouldn't be a third temple because the first
Correct.
hadn't been destroyed yet.
Thank you.
Oh, can I say one thing? Because my
Listen, one more thing
hold
before
on,
you go.
brother.
I'll let you go, but one more thing before you go. Listen, that's like saying the first temple hadn't been destroyed, but I'm gonna prophesy about the third temple. So the readers will be like, "What the hell you mean third temple? We ain't saw a first or a second."
Yep. Yep. And let me add this too, what you're saying. When you read the Tanakh, mainly the book of Deuteronomy, the law explicitly states when a prophet speaks and it come not
Not
to
to pass.
pass, that means I have not spoken to that prophet. So
Correct.
everything these prophets said already came to pass. You are supposed to be living your life according to the God of Israel, following his Tanakh. That's what you're supposed to be doing, not trying to create a brand new eschatology or any of that other stuff, Rabbi Lewis. And this is what y'all get wrong
Because you
every single time.
because you can't be labeled a prophet to the things you say come to pass.
They have to come to pass, and the people who hear the prophet speak, it
You have to
must come
acknowledge
to
it.
pass in the time of that prophet. Because if,
Correct.
if it doesn't, that means Isaiah, that means Jeremiah,
Not
Ezekiel,
prophets.
and every other prophet they're not prophets now.
This
It's
is why.
actually your Christian eschatology that
Correct.
makes them false prophets,
This is
not the prophets themselves.
correct. This is why when you look at I'm gonna make it real simple like this here. This is why when you look at dealing with Daniel, this is why Daniel is not listed in the
Mm,
prophets.
mm.
Because even in the book it says, "Go thy way, Daniel. The thing I give you has been sealed," right? And it's many days to this thing come to pass. So Daniel can't be called a prophet at the time he's saying it, because
That's
to
right.
be a prophet, the thing has to be acknowledged by the people,
That's right.
or it has to be disqualified and you have to be
Mhm.
stoned.
And let me break this down also. Daniel is reading the books of Jeremiah,
Correct.
and the God of Israel sends him a messenger. We don't, people who study Tanakh don't believe in angels, right?
Correct.
That's Christianity, to
Correct.
give him understanding of the
The
books. That's
visions.
why most people call Daniel not a prophet.
Correct.
Jesus Christ.
So when
This is so
Daniel,
easy.
so now there are some things that Daniel mentioned. Um, like I said, I'll show you the first one. He says, "Go thy way, Daniel, for the things that they've been sealed. You ain't gonna understand them right now, not your time, right?" So when you read the last chapter of Daniel, he says, "Go thy way, Daniel." He said, "In the end, you shall stand in your what? In your lot." So what is
In your
Daniel
life.
talking? Well, when the thing that he said comes to pass, now he can get that title. You cannot get that title prior.
Good point. Good point.
Let me show it to
Excellent
you real
point.
quick. Let me show it to you real quick. I'll show it to
Break
you real
that
quick.
down. Yeah, break that down. Yeah, that's a good point.
Let me
I
show you.
never looked at it like that. Okay.
So we're gonna go to, I think it's Daniel 12.
Can I say one thing real quick?
Yeah, you can, but I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna show you. Go ahead. I'm gonna show you real quick.
You made me. I lost my train of thought about two things. I'm sorry. It's Islamic. Can you hear me?
Uh-huh.
Theology. I have a question for Chris Harris. What was the name of the beast that Muhammad said was going to come before Yom
I'm not a
Kippur?
Muslim. I don't, Lewis. I
I'm
don't deal.
talking to Chris Harris. I know you're not a Muslim. I'm talking to
Okay.
Chris.
I'm
Chris, what
not
was
a
the name of the
Muslim.
animal that
I'm not a
Muhammad said?
Muslim.
Huh?
I'm not a Muslim. I could care less about Allah or Muhammad.
Okay, he doesn't know. It was the Daba. The Daba, and everybody's like, yeah.
Congratulations.
Huh?
Congratulations. It means nothing pertaining to this conversation. Thank
It
you.
does. You mentioned Islamic eschatology. The Daba is like Muhammad said will come in the Middle East
No,
before.
Lewis. When he mentioned the Islamic eschatology, he was saying you're trying to superimpose those things with us. You're trying to just like you just did. You just said all of that, and that means nothing to us. It's not written by us, and it's not
No,
our.
it does mean I told me something because they found the Daba recently. They found a new species in the Middle East
Oh my God.
identical to the Daba that Muhammad described that will come before the judgment day. And they
Okay.
found a new species of animals in the Middle East. We know we're
That's what's
living in
up.
the last days.
Hold on, listen, stop. If they found him, he didn't come.
No, I said they found a new species of horse
Lewis, he's not
in the Middle
new.
East. Muhammad said before the last days,
Lewis,
the
before
Daba would appear
Lewis,
in the Middle East.
before the 1800s, were there any lowland gorillas?
Yeah, probably.
But man didn't know about them. They had heard stories, they had never seen them.
Wait, what's your point?
The point is they weren't new. They're here.
They were already there.
You say something
That's
is
not my
new.
point. I
No,
said Muhammad
listen,
said.
listen.
Oh my God.
When
Keep
you
getting
say
cut off.
yes, because when you say something is new, it means it wasn't here prior.
That's not what Muhammad said. He said
You just said it.
I'm
I
gonna
didn't
repeat what
do
I
it.
said, crystal
Ain't
clear.
nobody on this thing quoted Muhammad but you.
Yeah, let me crystal what I said, and I'll you for.
But clean it
Muhammad
up.
said himself before Yom Kippur, there's gonna be a beast named the Daba that's gonna appear in the Middle East that nobody knew about till he knew about it. Then their resurrection will happen after that. They found that species of horse a couple recently in the Middle East, as Muhammad said it was gonna happen. I'm done.
Oh, no, stop. But your Quran doesn't say that. Now you're lying.
I just said I'm quoting Muhammad.
Quoting Muhammad from where?
The authentic hadith.
Oh man.
Look, as it says here, right here on the screen, it says, many shall be purified, made white and tried, but the wicked shall do wickedly, and none of the wicked shall understand, but the wise shall understand. And from that time that the daily sacrifice shall be taken away, that's Antiochus Epiphanes putting the pig on the altar.
That's right.
The temple is unclean. So now at this point, the sacrifice is gone. Now remember, that didn't happen. That didn't happen with Daniel.
No.
Daniel wasn't alive when that happened.
No.
We're talking about around 164 BCE.
Yep.
That didn't happen at the time of Daniel. That's why it says at the end, watch what it says. Now, it's already happened now, but watch what it says. And from that time that the daily sacrifice shall be taken away, and the abomination that maketh desolate set up, that shall be 1,290 days. Now, this didn't happen in Daniel's time. Daniel was alive during the Persian rule, and he was a president, basically. He was ruling over many provinces. So he didn't have any smoke with the Syrians. The Syrians weren't running nothing in Daniel's time. The Babylonians lost to the Medes and the Persians. There were no Syrians running nothing yet. Like I said, Daniel is 606, 586, 536. After that, he dies. Then you get down to 164, Antiochus Epiphanes, putting the pig on the altar. That's what he's talking about. But guess what? You can't call Daniel a prophet at that time because it says, but what?
It came not to pass.
Yeah, he says what? But go thy way till the end be. For thou shalt rest, meaning he's dead, and stand in thy light at the end of days. Now you think he's coming back to life. He's not. His lot, what is your lot in life? What you're supposed to be and what you were doing. So his lot in life is, now we're going to look and say, damn, that happened. Daniel said it was going to be a pig or something going to make it where the temple couldn't be worshipped in. It's going to make everybody run out and flee as desolate. And we see that happen later. So now today, people try to call him a prophet.
Right.
But you couldn't say that when he was talking about this because none of this had happened.
Write it down, write down the vision and
Yeah,
seal it in the book.
in the book. And look what it says, verse 9. And he said, go thy way, Daniel, for the words are closed up and sealed to the time of the end. Not the end of
Right.
day, to the end of this vision.
And you want to know something else I teach about this? One of the things I believe why they removed the book of Maccabees, because the Christians wanted to use the book of Daniel to promote their false savior. If you
And,
read the book of Maccabees, you clearly see the fulfillment of this right there in Maccabees 1 and 2. It even speaks of dying and resurrecting gods that were an abomination to the Israelites and the God of Israel.
correct.
With they speak about that in the book of Maccabees. This is why Christians had to remove that book, because it tells you about Alexander and his four generals taking over this area after
Correct.
Alexander died.
So
It
so
tells
now
you. So yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point you made there.
so, so,
Excellent point.
so check this out.
Yeah.
Um, check this out, Lewis.
Shit,
I'm gonna
sometimes I want to learn too. Shit.
Well, let's make an that's all relevant because hello.
hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second. Hold on 1
Let's
second.
make a side point to that real quick.
I got you. Hold on for this. Don't lose your train of thought. I'm gonna let you talk. Don't lose your train of thought. Okay. As you can see on the screen, Antiochus Epiphanes IV desecrated the Jewish temple in Jerusalem around one. It's actually 164. If you do the research, 164. You count the time. But anyway, let's just go with their date right here. That's 168 BCE. Daniel has been dead 400 plus years. So now, while Daniel is resting, as Daniel chapter 12 at the very end says, go thy way, ain't gonna happen in your time frame, rest up, and in the last days you shall stand in your lot. Now we collectively call him a prophet because we see some of the things he said come to pass, but you couldn't call him a prophet then. See, this is 168 BCE. Daniel was 606 when the first wave of the Babylonians came and took the children of Israel. They took the princes and the leaders first. That's in 606. Yep. Then they came back in 586 and they took the people. Right?
Oh,
that's
598.
Louis, I already explained that to you. No, I already
said 586, bro. You misspoke.
Hey, Ezekiel, I'm about to get ready to get out of here and go to bed, man. Hey, it was fun. Start doing a little bit more lives, man. Let's get back to the teaching, man. This is fun. Rabbi Lewis, you up here getting cooked, man. You getting cooked bad.
Okay.
All right.
Well, as you go, accept Jesus, your Lord and
All right,
Savior.
Hezekiah, peace, peace. You don't have 7 G's. Stop. All right, y'all, peace.
All right, bro. Shalom. So now, as you look here, that's 168 BCE. So I'm gonna let you talk. I said I was gonna let you talk. I'm gonna be honest and fair. I just want to read that thing, so I don't want to get too far away. Okay. He said he'll join off this run. Okay, gotcha. Sidelock said post the link. I would love to be a part of it too. The link is at the bottom. If you look at the very bottom, I had it up above. That's how Chris got on, and then it's on now. It says Hebrew Tactical says the fact that 0 Christians healed the sick or raised the dead during COVID should be that should be enough to throw the whole book out. Listen, that's what I'm saying. During COVID, you know, I show y'all Kenneth Copeland. I guess he did his little blow on stuff and knocked it out. You know what I'm saying? Out 5 years later, or 4 years later. But that's a good point. And guess what, Hebrew Tactical? That's the same thing I use with Lewis when I tell him that they had to shut down the Kaaba. So his God wasn't able to allow his worshipers to come worship him at the Kaaba. He wasn't strong enough to heal COVID at the Kaaba. Lawrence, Yehuda says, Chris bited him. Lord, laugh out loud emoji. He says, Lewis on the short bus to hell and don't even know it. He says, facts. I got the scream there. And then Lenore says, peace, Chris. Okay. So now go ahead. Go ahead, Lewis. Oh, you left? I guess he left. Well, anyway, so he left, right? All right, so we can go. If y'all want to come in, I'll drop the link. I didn't kick him off. He just left. You know, he always does that. I just told him I was going to be a man of my word and let him speak, but I just have to read the chat. Got to read the chat. All right, so as you can see here, this is talking about Antiochus Epiphanes, 168 BCE. but it's actually 164. I got some books and stuff that kind of even push it towards being around Christmas. 164, if you can believe that or not. Anyway, but as you guys can see here, hold on. Okay. All right. So now the link is there. If you want to get Insight Tactical, anybody want to get on, you guys come on and talk. But as I was trying to explain to him, and I want him to understand and grasp, when you look at that prophecy, Daniel, to be a prophet of the Most High, when you go into the first 5 books with Moshe, when you go back, it tells you to be a prophet. You have to say the thing, it has to come to pass, and you can be deemed a prophet. If I give a prophecy about the year 2130, you can't call me a prophet until 2130. If it come to pass in 2130, then you can call me a prophet, and not a moment before that. Okay. So with that being the case, I want to go and start talking about the simulation, right? And the simulation is what we're aware of. And I know most people it might take people a little. Everybody's watched the movie The Matrix, right? And how in The Matrix, AI, the simulation, and we tend to look at Terminator. We start to see all these robots running around in Detroit. We start to look at these dogs running around, right? We start to look at all these robotics. And I'm going to show you guys something about that as well. Let me see, where was it? I think I might be able to find it this way. Okay, here we go. Yeah, here we go. Joel chapter 2. Now, this is a future prophecy here, dealing in the book of Joel, right? And we're going to deal with this AI stuff. As you can see here, it says, they shall run like mighty men, right? It says they shall run like mighty men. They shall climb the walls like men of war, and they shall march every one on his ways, and they shall not break their ranks. Let me make that a little bit bigger. Well, I think that's it. Yeah, okay, we go. It says, neither shall one thrust another. They shall walk everyone in his path. And when they fall upon the sword, they shall not be wounded. Look at that for a second. Think about that for a second, guys. These people, whoever they are, or whatever they are, they'll be in a war. They won't break rank for nothing. And when they get thrust or shot or whatever we do to them in the land, more than likely stab them, etc., thrust them through, right? When we thrust them through, it says, when they fall upon the sword, they shall not be wounded. They shall run to and fro in the city. They shall run upon the wall. They shall climb up upon the houses. They shall enter in the windows like a thief. The earth shall quake before them. The heavens shall tremble. Now, why am I saying this? Because this is what you're dealing with when you're dealing with the robots. This is when we're back in the land, and you look at those robots and you see those robots coming in the land. You stab them. Those robots, nothing happens to them. They're coming through, climbing walls and coming through the windows, snatching people out, etc. Okay, and then you can read about that in Michael, where we see they go get the 7 principal men, and then we turn the tide on them, and Yah comes back and does his thing. It says the earth shall quake before them, and the heavens shall tremble. The sun and the moon shall be dark, and the stars shall withdraw their shining. And the Lord shall utter his voice before his army, for his camp is very great. For he is strong and executed his word. For the day of the Lord is great and very terrible. Who can abide it? Okay. So as you can see that from that standpoint, this lends right into what we were just discussing when we were talking about what? We're talking about the simulation, the AI, and things like that. So you got this AI coming on the scene. We've seen this, and remember, art imitates art. Life is art. People, you have to draw things out. We call them vision boards, whatever. You draw things out first to map it out, to be able to see it, and then you execute it. And that's what we're seeing with the movies, right? We're seeing them. So when you see the Dracula movie, Bram Stoker's, then you see the people literally drinking blood. You read about the adrenochrome, etc. Okay, these are some of the things you kind of look at and you see. Okay, so the simulation. When you watch the movie The Matrix, it's really the opposite. See, in The Matrix, they're telling you the truth that the real world is far uglier than the simulation. The simulation is this screen. The simulation is this phone, right? That's the simulation. It's the television. It's the movies. It's the thing. You know, I saw a meme one time, and in the meme, people were saying the reason I have trust issues and things like that is because they show one of those children books where the mayor was a cat and the mailman is a dog and everything bright physic colors, and you think as a child that's the real world. But when you get older, you understand that, hey, this is not the real world. It should be that way. It should look like Whoville. It should be where everybody takes care of one another and they're kind, etc. It should be, but it's not. Okay, it's not. So that's the simulation. And so when you look at the real world, you'll probably notice in your own life, you'll see things that happen, and then you'll say to yourself, hold on, like it's like your life is repeating, because we're creatures of habit, kind of executing the same things. The brother Joshua Rhodes, and I was talking about this earlier, yesterday. So that's the simulation. So is this simulation, is it a real simulation? Yes, I think it really is a simulation. But we're aware of the simulation, which means we're just living in the simulation. Just like when you play a video game, you're playing the video game, you're still alive, you're still a real person, but you're immersed in the simulation of the game. Or when you're watching a movie, there's nobody really in your house stabbing people. There's nobody really in your house going around pewing terrorists. There's nobody blowing up themselves in your home. That's the simulation on the screen. And you're aware of it because you're cognizant, you're conscious, right? So you're aware of these things. That's what we call the Matrix. That is the Matrix. That's what the movie The Matrix was about. It's about, but see, it talks about AI in the movie The Matrix. And when you see the AI coming, but what they got you was they told you the opposite. In the movie The Matrix wasn't evil. The Matrix had went through many different levels, and it was just trying to find ways to make man happy. And it realized man can't be happy unless he's controlled. And it says human beings marveled at AI, artificial intelligence. And that's what they're doing now. So now you have Chat GPT and other different types of things at your disposal that you can use, right? You have these things that you can use. But while you're using those things, and you got those things you can use, do you really believe that the version of Chat GPT that they gave you is what they have? This is where we get into like dealing with the Snow White, the supercomputer, the Snow White, or the Beast. There's an actual supercomputer. Like I said, art imitates art. They tell you these things in movies. When you look in the movie, there's a movie called Deja Vu, and we've all experienced deja vu, right? But in the movie Deja Vu, it's them manipulating time. In the movie The Matrix, deja vu, it's something out in the system manipulating time. When the black cat comes by, then it comes by again, and you're like, man, I've seen this before. That's because somebody's messing with time. He thinketh to change times and laws. He thinketh to change them because of your perception. So when you want news, you go right to him for news. And then you read that news, and then you tell people about that news, but you don't really question the news. You follow what the narrative is, that the planes hit the World Trade Center, and boom, they melted the steel beams, even though the gasoline or the jet fuel doesn't melt at that high temperature. We've all done the research, but the narrative is the same. Why? Because Big Brother would not hurt us. There was a movie, Alien Requiem, AVP Requiem, where he says the government wouldn't lie to us, and everybody looked like, what? Like, we know that's, see, all of us know these are lies now. We know that's a lie. We know these are lies, right? We know they're lies, right? Like Trump, I give you an example. Trump just made the statement. He said that the Epstein list and stuff is a nothing burger. Okay, so if the Epstein list and all that stuff really didn't happen, it's a nothing burger, then why did Jeffrey Epstein unalive himself? Why did he hang himself in a jail cell if there really was nothing? Think about it. Is he alive? But let's go with the official narrative. The official narrative is he unalived himself. Well, if he unalived himself, why would he when none of this is real, according to Trump today? I mean, as just this past weekend. If the Epstein list is a nothing burger, then why did the man Epstein unalive himself for something that doesn't exist? That doesn't make any sense. It only makes sense to people that are not paying attention, people that are not seeing what's really going on. So when you look at this beast, this simulation, this beast system, and then what they tell you is, oh, well, you won't be able to buy, sell, or trade. We're going to put a mark in your right hand or in your forehead. And then people take that and read that literally. So they're just looking for microchips and don't realize they already have the mark of the beast. Because remember, the book of Revelation is their playbook. It's their playbook. That's the mark of the beast, their playbook. So they already have the mark of the beast. The mark of the beast is just allegiance. It's just allegiance. It's the allegiance you have to the system. You trust everything the system says. That's why they was able to right in your arm, right? Then go get your double, get your two, get your three of them. That one failed. Hey, you're not covered. Go get and you do your part so you can keep everybody safe. Right? You got the mark of the beast. The mark of the beast is just showing your allegiance to the system, to the beast system. You look in the book of Daniel, all the world empires that ruled with the basis of men over them, like Daniel said, like Daniel 7 says, all of these empires that rule, what do? They manipulate and control the people through fear manipulation. Right? So you are in the beast system already. But the trick is to make you think that it's coming. Because I'll just tell you, as long as you don't get nothing here and nothing here, but when you go to Revelation, it tells you that this is a vision made known, it's signified, meaning it's made known with signs. It's not literal. Like when you look at the JC story, he doesn't have a sword in his mouth. It tells you the sword is what? The word. He doesn't have 7 literal stars like the sun in his hand. Your hand can't hold celestial bodies. But what can it do? It tells you that those 7 stars are the 7 churches. It says those 7 candlesticks are the 7 churches. Right? So it starts off telling you that this is, let me show you real quick. Let's go to Revelation 1 real quick. And I'm only going here. But Lord, I went outside today, man. I got some pollen out there. And I'm only going here not because I subscribe to the book of Revelation, not because I'm teaching from the book of Revelation, but because I'm showing you it's their playbook. This is what's going to happen. It's their playbook. So let me show you. So you'll look at the playbook and you'll think, well, I know what they're going to do, but you don't realize they just switched it up a bit on you. So let me show you. Now, remember, this is sent to John on the Isle of Patmos, right? And I'm looking at the KJV. If someone want to look at a different version, I can show it to you. This is what it says in 1. It says, and I want to show it to you. It says, the revelation of JC, which God gave unto him to show unto his servants things which must shortly come to pass. Hold on. That was 2,000 plus years ago. Well, almost 2,000 years ago, almost, because we're talking about John being an old man on the Isle of Patmos to 2025. So almost 2,000 must shortly come to pass. Really? 1,900 plus years is shortly come to pass, and we're still waiting on it in the future. And it says, and he sent and signified it by his angel unto his servant John. So what does it mean by signified? Let's look that up in the Greek, and I'll show you. I'll show you in the Greek what that is. Okay. Let me go to it, and I'll pull up the eSword for you. Move my keyboard. There we go. Now we're cooking. And I want to show you guys. But Lord. Okay, here we go. Revelation chapter 1. All right, so now let me go back and let me share my screen. Go to window 2. Here we go. Okay, as you can see here, the word signify is semaino, right? That's signified, G4591, 4591, as you can see in verse 1, right? It says to indicate, to signify. The root word of signify is what? Signs. So I'm going to give you signs. These are not literal. It's not literal. There's literally, like again, and when you read it, look what it says here. It says, blessed, in verse 3, it says, blessed is he that readeth the word and they hear the words of the prophecy. Hold on. If you, right now I'm reading it, so you're hearing it, and you're reading it for yourself, but that doesn't mean you understand it. But it's saying you're blessed to read and hear it, but that's not literal. It's trying to say that if you understand this, you're blessed. And keep those things which are written therein, for the time is at hand. So the time is at hand, 1900 plus years ago. So why hasn't it come to pass? Remember verse 1, things that what? Must shortly come to pass. Right? That's what it said. Let's look at verse 1, verse 1. It says, to show unto his servants things which must shortly come to pass. So when you look at the locusts with teeth, and then what they do, oh, let's see, and here's, I'm gonna show you how you know it, because Muslims and Christians, they'll run their game that it's not literal, because they'll sit there and say, with the locusts, oh, that's not really locusts with iron teeth. That's the Apache helicopter. They got the little tiger teeth on it, and the hair like a woman is the propeller blades, and they get all fanciful and start trying to take stuff up, right? But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into this in detail, because I did a breakdown on Revelation years ago. But remember, it's their playbook. You're looking at their playbook. That's what you have to understand. You're looking at their playbook. If you're looking at this as if this is going to save you, it already told you in the book, and I saw the souls of them were beheaded. So you've already been conditioned that if this stuff comes to pass, just to let them chop your head off. When you go to Ecclesiastes chapter 9, what does it say? To the person in Ecclesiastes chapter 9, it says what? When you die, that's it. Ain't no more portion for you forever, anything done under the sun. But you've been told in Revelation that if you die and let them take your head from you, that you're going to get a good reward. And guess how many people are going to do that? Thinking they're going to get a good reward, because if it's already horrible, you see economic uncertainty, people are crashing out right now. So just imagine if it really get real crazy bad. Just imagine if listen, I was telling people back in 2019 that in 2019, they were talking about they're going to raise minimum wage in 2024, 2025. And then in the same newspapers and the articles, they're saying AI is coming and it's going to reduce jobs. So they're going to raise minimum wage, but they're going to reduce the jobs. See, it's all smoke and mirrors. So we gotta prepare, and we gotta prep right now. So I'm gonna end this. I'm gonna come back on tomorrow, guys, and we're gonna go into some of this in detail, dealing with the simulation, the beast, and the 12 tribe chart, and what they're not telling you. Because I told you guys that Gorilla Hebrew was not an Israelite. I told you he wasn't. See, when you're not fooled by the chart, you just look at him, the phenotypes, things, you can see it. He looks like an Arab. And now he comes out this past weekend and says, what? I'm not an Israelite. And you got Israelites arguing with him that he's an Israelite. He's going off. No, he's telling you guys the truth. It was all a grift. Think about it. He was selling shirts and all this other stuff. It was a grift. It was all a grift, right? So I'm going to go on that as well. We're going to deal with the Gorilla Hebrew situation. We're going to deal with the simulation. So, because I think I've started to learn something. Gorilla Hebrew, right? Gorilla Hebrew. So we're gonna deal with some things that's gonna be very interesting. Yep, a big grift. And you're seeing a lot of people just grifting right now all of a sudden, right? But it's been going on, but now it's getting worse because people are they're sensing something's wrong. And they're just trying. We're going to look at the AI. We're going to look at the animals and stuff. Is that AI? Is it not AI? The animals coming out of Yellowstone Park and stuff like that, if they're running, if they're not running, if it's real, what does that mean? If it's not, you know, yeah. So, brother, what I'm going to do, site lock, Yah willing, Leonard De Yehuda, I appreciate you for coming back, brother. Delta Roots, Hebrew Tactical, appreciate you coming back, brother. If you guys do come through tomorrow, I will be on about 7:30 p.m. Okay, I'll jump on about 7:30 p.m. And I got you, brother. I know you doing your run and everything. I need to go lift some weights, but I'm gonna have to wait because now the mosquitoes out there. It's a little later, so outside, so under my carport. But I just try to get that done early in the day or whatnot. So with that being the case, brothers and sisters, everybody on, like I said, I'll be on, Yah willing. I'll be on tomorrow at 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. So if you're on the East Coast, you're an hour ahead of me. That's 8:30 p.m. If you're on the West Coast, you're behind me. So whatever. So I'll jump on about 7:30, about 7:30 to 9:30. So and if you guys have questions on this when this video is uploaded, just put the comments in there. But I'm gonna come back and do that. I appreciate you, brother. Y'all will be safe. You be safe too, brother. Sight lock. Glad you made it back home from your run, brother. Be safe, okay? All right, Most High. Y'all bless y'all. Be safe. Shema Yisrael, Yah Eloheinu, Yah Echad.